Hey there, everyone. I've had a number of questions about making phone calls from home during all this time at home. So I've been looking into different options. I want to shout out thanks to Les Brown. He gave me some tips and some things that the district is promoting or considering or advising. And so I want to go over some of those options for people so that they can hopefully be able to contact students and parents in the near future here. So the first option is using *67. This is a code you can type into your phone before you dial a phone number, and that will block your number from being shown. It'll just come up as private caller or private number on their end. So I want to demonstrate this real quick just so that people are comfortable with the idea of what it looks like on the other end. So I'm going to use my house phone to call my cell phone, and then we'll show my cell phone on the screen, and you can see how it comes up on the cell phone. So I'm going to call my cell phone from my home phone number here and dial that number, and then hopefully it will show up here on my cell phone, and it does show up as private number. So that's a good thing. You can make a phone call there and not have to worry about parents and students getting hold of your personal phone number, your home phone number. Sometimes you just don't want that out there. So that's a solid way to make a phone call and not have to worry about it. Now, there is some drawbacks to that. One, they won't have a number to call you back on. So if you had to leave a voicemail message and say, please contact me back, they're not going to have a phone number to call that way. The other problem is that a lot of people have set up on their phones that if it's a blocked number, that the phone call won't even go through. I had a colleague that was trying this system, and they had to call 9 family members, I think it was, before they got one that went through to even leave a voicemail. So if they have it blocked completely, then it won't even make it through to voicemail. You'll just get the buzz, 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 phone number disconnected kind of deal. The other problem with it is a lot of people look at the phone number, and if it says private number, it's not somebody they know, they won't answer. So hopefully that'll get better. The district has been communicating out that parents and students should be accepting phone calls from those private number, blocked number, because of our situation, we can't call from the school's phone. So we're kind of stuck with this type of a system. So hopefully people will be answering those phone calls, but you may run into some troubles with that. The second option is to use Google Hangouts to call, and I want to go over how to do that. I think it's a pretty good option. Again, it has the same kind of drawback that they don't have a number to call you back on, and I'll show you what I'm talking about there. But it is a pretty decent option. So if I go to my Chromebook here, on the web, if I go to hangouts.google.com, this will pop up for you. Make sure that you are in your school account. I can see my school icon over here on the top right hand corner of the screen. And from here, you can make a phone call. You can see my contacts here, different people at the district and whatnot. But if I click on the little phone icon over here on the left, or the big one that's right here in the middle is probably the easiest one to get to, that takes me to this menu. And to make a phone call, I'm going to click where it says New Conversation up here at the top. And that's where you can put in a phone number. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call my cell phone again so you can see how it comes up on the other end as well. And we'll see how that phone call comes through, just like we did with the *67 deal. So I'll put in my phone number here. Okay, put that in, and then when I hit enter, it takes me to this screen, pops up, and you can see over here on the right it says calling, and my phone on the top of the screen says private number again. So just like with *67, the phone number is blocked. Again, the drawback being that they don't have a way to call you back. There isn't a number for them to call you back on. The bonus though being that they don't have your personal number going out to them. So those are options. So you can see it goes through, comes up private number. Again, they don't get your phone number, just like *67. The drawbacks are they don't have a number to call you back on. And also there's a little bit greater lag than you would normally have in a phone call. And it's not horrible. It's probably half a second-ish or so. So, it's a little bit of annoying kind of a deal, but sometimes if both parties are on cell phones, your phone call has that little bit of lag. It's kind of like that. If you're going to go this route or you want to test it out, I would encourage you to call somebody in your family or whatever and give it a call, give it a try, and see how it goes for you. See if that lag is annoying to you or not. I didn't find it to be too big of a deal. Another option is to use Zoom. You can set up a meeting in Zoom and make it a phone call meeting. In other words, somebody can join you by phone. They could dial into the number and join your call like that. Again, drawback to that, they do have a number they can call you on. So that's something. The bad drawback to that is that they can't call you when you're not on Zoom. If you're not in there in the meeting and they call, they're not going to get anywhere. So it only works when you know that they're going to call. So I can do a video if people are interested in that. I can do a video on how to do that specifically. Personally, I don't think that's the best option most of the time for people trying to make phone calls and reach out to families and students and parents. Another option is to use your work phone from home. You can actually do this. I did it. I always knew it was an option, but I did it for the first time just today to check it out for this video. If you call your work phone number, when the voicemail picks up, it'll ring several times and the voicemail picks up. If you hit *#, it will bounce you into the voicemail system. It will then ask you for your extension number. That's the last 4 digits of your work phone number. And then it'll ask you for your voicemail password. This is the same password that you've always typed in to get your voicemail when you're at work. And then it'll allow you to listen to your messages. You can replay them, you can save them for later, and you can delete messages just like you could on the phone. And it gives you voice prompts over the phone on how to do all of that. Works pretty well. It's a phone number that you have already been using with families. It's a phone number that the families will continue to call after this is all over. So I think that's a really good option as well. You might want to give it a try just to check your voicemail, even if you don't decide to use this during this time. You might want to check your voicemail from the last week or two. There might be some messages waiting for you there. Another option is Google Voice. And Google Voice has a lot of advantages. The one drawback is it doesn't really work with your school account. You're going to have to use a private Gmail account, a personal Gmail account to do this. So again, if people want, I can do a video on this. Honestly, there are people that have already done some videos. Some folks at JMS have shared out a video that's on YouTube. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. If you're interested in that, you can check it out. But let me talk just a little bit about how Google Voice works so that you know what you're getting into if you decide to go this route. So Google Voice is like Hangouts calls, what we just did previously, but plus there's more to it that you can do. So the first thing you do is that you get a number assigned to you from Google. So when you go into the system and set up, it asks you to pick a phone number. And it gives you phone numbers from your geographic area, but not necessarily from your local town. So for example, when I went in there to do it, I got choices from Newport, Oregon and Eugene, Oregon, and there was a third one, I don't remember, but nothing that was really that close to here, which means when you call people, that's the number that will come up, and it will look as though somebody from Eugene, Oregon is calling them. And they might decide not to answer because they don't know anybody from Eugene, Oregon or Newport or wherever. On the plus side, they do have a phone number they can call you back on. They can call that phone number and it will be your Google Voice number. Now, the nice thing is Google Voice acts as a go-between between your phone and their phone. They dial the Google Voice number and then Google connects that call to your personal phone number, whether it's your cell phone or your house phone, landline, whatever, it will connect to that phone number. So they never see your actual phone number. All they ever see is the Google Voice phone number. If you're not available to answer at that time, Google Voice will then put them into a voicemail system and you get that voicemail on Google Voice. It's really a nice system. The only drawback I have with it is that it only works for a personal Gmail account. So if you're willing to use your personal Gmail account to do this stuff with, then this could be a good option for you. Personally, I'm not real excited about using my personal Gmail account for that kind of stuff. So that brings it back to basically, what do we recommend? So this is my recommendation. This is not the district's recommendation. This is what I'm personally choosing to do. If you want to do like I'm doing, then that's great. If you want to try some of these other things, that's great too. And I'm willing to help you with those things. So if you need help on Google Voice or how to get into your voicemail at work or whatever, reach out and I'll be happy to help you. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the *67 feature. That way I can make a phone call from my regular house phone. I can use my cell phone. I can use whatever phone I want, and make those phone calls and not have to worry about my phone number getting out there. What I'm going to do is instruct people, students and parents, if they need to contact me, to call my work phone and leave a voicemail, which really, if you think about it, isn't that different from during the day. I rarely answer the phone while I'm teaching class, because I'm teaching class. So most of the time, almost all the time, the phone calls go to voicemail anyway, so that's not really that different. And I'm going to instruct people to leave a message, leave a good time for me to call back, and I'll call them back again using the *67 feature of my phone. So that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see how it goes. If it works out great, I'll keep doing it. If not, I'll switch to something else. But in the meantime, we'll see. So as always, if you have questions, comments, whatever, put them in the comments below. Feel free to reach out by email if you want. We can do that as well. If you want to make sure that you see future videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon that's next to it. That way you'll make sure you get notified of future videos. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up down below as well.